Now it's 6. After a quiet day across the region, our next warm front to the south is ready to bring rain, potentially heavy rain for some as we go deeper into the night. You'll get a first look at the rain working in with first weather coming up.
Plus, a group in Joplin works to develop a tiny community to offer hope to the city's homeless population. The city of Joplin announces who it's chosen to take over as fire chief.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A local group is working to bring a tiny village to Joplin to help the homeless. This is KOAM News at 6. KOAM's Chris Warner spoke with one of the people in that group about the vision they have.
Joe Johnson spent a week this past summer on the streets with the homeless community in Joplin.
I saw that there were a lot of needs being met, but some of the most basic ones, somehow we just weren't able to meet. For instance, just housing.
That's why he decided to join a group aimed at redeveloping an area around 710 Minnesota in Joplin, more commonly known as the former Botany Shop, into a tiny village and community center for the homeless.
The land and properties deteriorated somewhat, but there's many of us that are walking around looking at this and seeing, a dream. And that dream is, creating a tiny village for some of our houseless community to help give them a place to land and then hopefully a place to launch from.
They wanted to name their dream, so they picked Lincoln Heights in honor of the former Lincoln School, which was located across the street. The goal is to build a number of tiny homes directly across the street from the Botany Shop on the north side of the bridge to serve as the launch pad for those in need. They'll also convert the former Botany Shop property into a community center, offering showers, storage, and a lot more.
We also intend to have social workers come in periodically to help people with things like getting their identification or different types of paperwork they need in order to be able to even go apply for a job.
Right now, the plan is still a dream, a vision. But with the community's help, Johnson is hopeful it can soon become a reality.
It would be amazing if we could offer people next fall, next winter, a place to land so they can get out of the elements and just start, moving forward in their lives.
In Joplin, Chris Warner, KOAM News.
Now on Wednesday, they're inviting the community out at 9 a.m. to help clean up the old Botany Shop site at 710 Minnesota. City of Joplin today announced its new fire chief, Gerald Ezell. Ezell has 33 years of experience in fire service. He's currently serving as the fire chief of Maumelle, Arkansas. Ezell was Joplin's battalion fire chief until 2010. He also served as the fire chief in Diamond, Missouri. Joplin's former chief, Jim Ferguson, retired in June. Mark Cannon is serving as interim chief. Ezell will take over on February 7th. Not bad out there at the moment. Rain on the way, though. Nick Kelly.
Yeah, the cloud cover that really built in throughout the afternoon, Dow, it really gives a hint that our next system is ready to roar on in. But all is quiet for now from 7th and Range Line. A quick look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker, though, shows nothing underneath the clouds right now. But looking at a quick look at the surface map, we have our next warm front developing off to our south and west, and ready to roll in as we go deep into the night. First glimpse of your future track forecast here. Temperatures will primarily hold steady, mainly in the 40s to about 50 degrees across the region. But you see how we're dry at 9 o'clock. But once we get after 11 o'clock or midnight, the returning moisture means rain and even some thunderstorms, so some heavy rain will develop and really get going right on top of the region. So definitely plan on this to start your Tuesday out. We'll see if this is an issue for the entire Tuesday. We'll also look at how much rain this will bring and other systems down the road that we'll be tracking as well with full weather coming up. In the meantime, back to you.
See you soon. State of Missouri is now offering a new option to test yourself for COVID-19 at home. You can now order a self-collection kit and ship it to a lab via FedEx. You order the kit on the state health department's website. The kit, which is absolutely free, should arrive in 2 days and is good for 6 months. Once you collect the sample, you have 24 hours to ship it in a prepaid envelope included with the kit. The lab will then send you your results in an email. Authorities in McDonald County, Missouri arrested a man accused of pointing a gun at people on Christmas Eve. The sheriff's office says Spencer Daniels of Pineville pointed the gun at 2 people inside a vehicle behind Boonslick Lodge on Highway 71. Authorities say Daniels then went into the lodge, pointed the gun at more people, threw the gun in a trash can and ran to a McDonald's where he was arrested after a short chase. Daniels is charged with 3 counts of first-degree assault and 3 counts of armed criminal action, among other charges. Authorities in Missouri issue an arrest warrant for a doctor at a private Christian boarding school. Police say 57-year-old David Smock sexually abused students at Agape boarding school in Cedar County while he was a doctor there. Smock is charged with second-degree statutory sodomy, third-degree child molestation, and enticement or attempted enticement of a child. In September, the Cedar County prosecutor charged 5 other employees of that school with child sex crimes. Coming up, an Oklahoma company is stepping up to donate a new siren to an Iowa town damaged by a tornado. Plus, a talented dog put on a show in Joplin while teaching kids valuable lessons. Kids at the Joplin YMCA got a real treat today. Disky the Wonder Dog. Look at that. Disky and her handler, Russ Rosenkrantz, have been touring the area, performing Frisbee tricks and wowing crowds for years. They've even auditioned for America's Got Talent. Today, Disky performed at the Joplin Y and taught kids her 7 habits of highly effective kids.
Talking to kids about setting goals. Somebody finally pushed us one time and said, "Man, you've got such a story, you should do America's Got Talent." And I was like, whatever, right, you know. So I sent off a tape, we got an audition opportunity, and we went to Dallas.
Russ and Disky hope to one day perform at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Good dog. Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services extends a temporary increase of WIC benefits through March. WIC, or the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women, Infants, and Children, allows up to 60,000 women and young children to receive healthy fruits and vegetables each month. Officials say the increase is the same amount as November and December, $24 per month for children, $43 per month for pregnant and postpartum women, and $47 per month for breastfeeding women. With Christmas over and the weather nice, a lot of kids have been outside playing with those new Christmas toys. So AAA is reminding drivers to be on the lookout. They provide some tips to keep in mind. First, check your blind spots, including behind your vehicle. Always assume children could be present, and carefully check streets and roll down your windows as you back up so you can hear if kids might be playing. AAA also reminds parents to always keep an eye on their kids while they're playing outside. Rudd, Iowa's tornado siren was badly damaged in an EF1 tornado when it rolled through the town last week. Now, as Alex Juergens reports, an Oklahoma company wants to donate a new siren to the town.
That siren was destroyed during last week's tornado. Ryan Dean and Logan Schultz are with Joe Goddard Enterprises, a company which specializes in sirens and warning detection systems. They turn their love of weather and sirens into a career.
We've seen this devastation in real life, in its full form.
The company heard about how Hicks courageously operated that siren as the tornado bore down on Rudd. They want to donate a refurbished, modern siren, one that runs on battery power and has remote activation so first responders can stay safe. They've done work in other communities, bringing 50-year-old sirens up to modern standards.
Instead of spending, $25,000 on an entire new siren, they can just put a new radio on it and be able to keep on going with, something that's been reliable for its whole life.
Since they are based in Oklahoma, they know the importance of having a good tornado warning system. Schultz says the siren is just one method in a multi-layered approach to keeping people safe during storms.
We just felt that, we could do something to help someone else, and that's what we wanted to do.
If approved, the new siren will be installed this spring. Later, we're going to catch up with a local MMA fighter gearing up for a match in Kansas City in front of UFC President Dana White.
But first, we have a system on the way that'll give us rain chances tonight, but that's not the only system I'm tracking in the forecast. We'll break it all down when we come back. We kept these quiet mild once again today, despite a lot of cloud cover really ramping back up as we went deeper throughout the course of the day. But at the very least, it wasn't as mild as the record breaker that we had to wrap up the holiday weekend the other day. Highs around 75 degrees yesterday afternoon at Joplin Regional alone. We had midnight highs in the upper 60s, and then we saw the thermostat really drop back into the lower 50s this morning. Then we were able to rebound at least into the upper 50s this afternoon. But looking down the road, we're at that part of Doug's pattern again where it's getting a bit active once again. Our first system on the board starts working in tonight and going into Tuesday with maybe a few showers on Wednesday as well. But after a few quiet days, we'll watch for a good system on New Year's Day with thunderstorms and even wintry weather possible. And then behind that, compared to how mild, if not warm, it's been throughout the past several days, we'll be turning much colder as we go into our first full week of 2022. For the time being, though, here in 2021, 6:15 on this Monday evening, we're dry, but cloudy up top. Joplin checking in at 51 with a north breeze at about 6 miles per hour. Everybody across the region is seeing temperatures mainly in the mid 40s to lower 50s all across the board. And with the cloud cover continuing to pick up and eventually rain chances working in late tonight, I don't see these numbers dropping off very much. At times, most of us will be in the upper 40s, but we're going to hover primarily where we are right now as we go throughout the course of the overnight. So let's break down our weather setup here. We've got a lot of cloud cover building back in. Nothing underneath our cloud cover right now, but our next system at the surface, this warm front developing southwest, that's ready to work our way and pulling in more moisture as it does so. Combine that with upper level energy with a wave out to the west. That's going to really ramp up our rain chances as we go deep into the night. For the time being, though, again, the future track doing a good job doing what I expected to, keeping us dry until we hit 11 o'clock or midnight. Then that's when you start to see the future track really letting loose with rain and even some thunderstorms. Nothing severe expected, but some pockets of heavy rain. Certainly can't rule that out as we get your morning drive underway. Fortunately, this is mainly a Tuesday morning affair because everything will be out of here as we get your Tuesday afternoon underway. But the rain that we see tonight and tomorrow morning, it could come down to a good clip in a couple of spots. Most of us will see anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to 1.25 inches. Can't rule out some embedded pockets where rain amounts could push almost to 1.5 inches. Not quite triggering any flooding concerns, but it's still something we'll watch. But with clearing skies throughout the day, we'll go from 49 in the morning, 63 by noon, and highs near 67 degrees. Another quick wave behind this system will give us some scattered showers to watch as we go into Wednesday, but we're dry Thursday and dry to wrap up 2021 on Friday. New Year's Day, though, our next big system in Doug's pattern comes on in. Rain and thunderstorms to start Saturday out. But as soon as that colder air really starts to slam in, that system could not only end as a mix of rain and snow Saturday night going into Sunday, but it'll leave us quite a bit colder going into next week. 67 tomorrow, 57 Wednesday, 52 on Thursday, near 60 Friday and Saturday down. Then how about a high of 28 on Sunday after we start near 16 Sunday morning?
Yes, 16. That is painfully cold and quite a switch from what we've seen lately.
I know, it's going to be a big shock to the system when that
Yes,
gets
it
here.
will. Thanks, Nick. Coming up in sports, former Kansas State Wildcat shines for the Kansas City Chiefs, and a local fighter gets a chance to fight in front of one of the biggest names in mixed martial arts. Jacob Leonard has that story and a lot more up next.
The Kansas City Chiefs are once again AFC West champions. The Chiefs blew out the Steelers on Sunday to get to 11-4 this season and earn their 6th consecutive division title. To win the game on Sunday, obviously, the defense dominated, but Kansas City had some guys step up big on offense with tight end Travis Kelce sidelined. McCole Hardman caught a touchdown. Darrell Williams rushed for 50 yards. Derek Gore had 61 receiving yards, and K-State product Byron Pringle had a breakout game with 75 yards and 2 touchdowns.
We put guys in position to succeed, and they stepped up and made those plays happen. I mean, a lot of those routes sometimes are Tyreek or sometimes are Travis, and they seem like they're always making plays happen. We threw guys like Pringle, guys like McCole, guys like Noah into those positions, and they made plays happen and kind of filled that role the best they could. In this league, you're not going to have every one of your guys every single week, so guys have to step up, and that's why we've built the receiving room, we've built the tight end room, and then we've built the running back room the way we've built it is so that whenever guys get their opportunities, they can step up and make plays happen.
Joplin fighter TJ Britton is getting back in the MMA cage after winning a couple pro boxing bouts. His next fight will be in February in Kansas City. With a special guest in the audience, he'll be aiming to impress. Finding fights has sometimes been a challenge for TJ Britton.
As an amateur, I had so many people back out. As a professional fighter, we've had at least 20 to 25 fighters back out. So, you know, being 8-2, I should have more fights. A lot of it is out of my hands. People just didn't want to fight. And so to get this opportunity is a blessing.
Britton has found his next fight, though, and it's a big opportunity. He'll be fighting at FAC 12 in Kansas City in February in front of UFC President Dana White as part of White's TV show, Dana White Looking for a Fight.
If you're a cage fighter, it's probably on your dream list to do, and so I've been able to fight in front of him on his television show, and for him to personally want to watch you is pretty big accomplishment. So I'm ready to go in and have some fun, show him what I can do. I'm not just doing this for me, I'm doing it for my family, I'm doing it for my gym, I'm doing it for the people who sacrifice with me, and they've been there with me through the thick and thin, you know, that seen the accomplishments and the ups and downs.
Britton will fight Isaac Dolgarian, who was 4-0 in the co-main event.
He is a stud. I mean, he'll be the best fighter I ever fought by far. You know, he's a crazy athlete, very engaged young man. You know, high goal set, and everything. I believe everything he's probably said he's achieved, and so we both have the same goals. So we'll see what happens that night. Man, I'm just working hard, man. I'm not cutting any corners. I'll be ready. I'll be the best TJ Britton that I can be, and then we'll go out and we'll have some fun, man. We'll see what happens.
And if things go well, Britton is hoping to turn this opportunity into another on a future UFC fight card.
You want to get as high as level as you can, and I believe I belong there, and I've always said that. I have a lot of people say that, and so we get the opportunity to see what happens, what shakes out.
Britton's fight in February will be for a featherweight title. The fight is January 6th. You can find ticket information in this story on the sports page at KOAMnewsnow.com. The Kansas Jayhawks have had their game against Harvard on Wednesday canceled due to COVID-19 issues inside the Harvard program. They found another game, though, for Wednesday, agreeing to host Nevada in a replacement contest. Now, in the latest AP national rankings released earlier today, KU has moved up a spot to number 6, 9-1 overall record. The Big 12 rival Baylor remains undefeated and remains number 1 this week. Now, 3 other conference teams are in the top 25, with Iowa State at 8, Texas at number 17, and Texas Tech at number 25. And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news right after the break.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Russ Lewis joined the U.S. Army in 2003. The Webb City, Missouri native was stationed in Iraq, and we salute Sergeant Russ Lewis, a 4-state hero. We hope you'll join us for KOAM News at 10 as we recap some of the top stories of the year in the U.S. We're going to look back at the fight against the coronavirus pandemic, some high-profile criminal trials, the billionaire space race, and a whole lot of other topics. Again, that's going to be tonight on KOAM News at 10. Hope you join us for that. Now, if you're thinking about investing, those discontinued Lego sets might be the way to go. Yeah, really. Researchers at a Russian university looked at the rates of return when it came to collecting toys. They found high-value collectibles proved to be a better investment than gold, art, or financial securities. So don't bother with the gold and the art or the financial securities. They noted that retired Lego sets that sold on secondary markets saw prices grow by 11% annually. That is faster than the rates for gold and stocks and bonds. According to researchers, those who invest in Legos long-term can yield positive returns 2 to 3 years after the retirement of that Lego set.
We invested heavily in Legos for Christmas, but unfortunately they're all opened already. Yeah.
Yes, and they don't remain entire sets for very long in most households. The weather, chances of rain.
Yeah, not until we get after 11 o'clock or midnight tonight. Rain chances through Tuesday morning, then we're dry tomorrow afternoon. Highs are 67.
Final sports news.
Check out the sports page at KOAMnewsnow.com for where we were right, where we were wrong in the pigskin preview.
See you at 10. Let's make it a great evening.